I don't even know what the nature of the video is, but it's funny because you can be going through whatever you're going through, and that's kind of the beauty of social media, which there's some downsides, because I have literally had some serious psychopaths writing to me on the emails, because I mentioned the emails, and then the sun just comes out. It's been cloudy all day, and then the sun comes out for this video. Amazing. But you know, I said my email because I wanted to tell everybody, hey, if you want a consult, because, you know, getting healthy is not that hard. It's simple, but it's hard because you have to change your habits. And that's the hard part, because the iceberg below the water is 90% subconscious. So you're really having to work with your subconscious, and you're really having to work with repetition. That's the only thing I have going for me, literally. There are a lot of smarter people than me. But one thing I'm really grateful that I kind of grasped onto was this persistence, like this inability to relinquish, to give up, you know, and no matter what. And then I found out just that repetition over and over, reading the same books, listening to the same audios, the ones that I wanted to program myself with, and then making these repetitious decisions, you know. One of them being like orange juice for breakfast. It's a very common thing for me, especially when I'm out on the road, you know. You know, because the Whole Foods has the OJ. This isn't Whole Foods OJ, but this is some nice looking, fresh squeezed OJ. And it's something that I can have for breakfast after, you know, whatever you want to call it, a workout. It's just a walk. It's just being human, really, is what it is. I just did this 2.5 mile loop, and then I did some push-ups, and I talked to the squirrels. I know, don't get caught doing that, but still, this dude was cool. He was regal looking, big, tall tail. He just sat right there and listened to me, and then he answered with his tail. You know, it was just, I mean, I don't know. Yes, I'm a little strange nature boy, but then the rabbits went across, and this bird would, it was this weird trip. I was like, what the hell was that? It sounded like an electric bike. But anyways, we're just out here having adventures. I don't know which way the day is going to go. I have an itinerary where I'd like to end up. I mean, eventually heaven. Actually, heaven is on earth, really. And that's the thing I've saw with the people. And I see the social media, and I'm on there, but I am not going to let it drag me down. I'm not going to let the hate fest of social media or the criticism fest. And if I criticize you, I apologize. You know, I'm trying to be, you know, I just want to be benevolent. I want to be all inclusive. You know, I want to love everyone. You know, that might sound like some kind of niche marketing thing or something, but I don't make any money off love. You know, I make money off other stuff. Thank God, and thank you all the people who get the consults, you know. That's the one thing that's keeping me going, and it's the one thing that makes social media make sense, because otherwise all I see is hatred, judgment, criticism, and everyone thinks they're a know-it-all. Everyone is a Hollywood celebrity nowadays. I don't want to be that, you know. At first, yes, I'll admit, and people sort of liked that, Dan, but that was more of like a look at my ego thing. And the ego is still here. It has to be. Eventually this ego is going to disappear, and then so will Dan McDonald on the social media, because he knows that once he fully dissolves into the I am, or whatever you want to call it, I have a million different names for it. I love them all. You know, God to me is everything, dude. And today is the day to celebrate and sing at the top of your lungs. I love God. I love the truth. God is love and peace, and that is our true nature. And then you get up here and you scream into a camera, and it all sounds strange and nothing makes any sense. But because the quagmire of the words, everyone gets confused. You know, they're angry, they're upset, they don't like some of the things you say, and they're off their medication or something. And then they write these emails to me at like 3 in the morning, and I wake up and I'm like, wow, you know, these people are out of their minds. And this is social media. And I think that the world, you know, with all the shots during the pandemic and all the other toxins and the processed foods, it's like I'm keeping my colon clean. So my brain has been through enough with everything that happened to me in childhood and then young adulthood. And then, you know, now I'm just trying to do my best to be the best I can be for myself. And then this YouTube thing just kind of took off. Like 17 years ago, I made a video in front of the RV with a little flip camera. We had 10 minutes back then, and it blew up. It really took off. I used to get 2, 3, 4, 500 subscribers every day, you know? And then they changed it, and Alphabet bought them, and now they're a pharmaceutical company. And so social media and big tech is a pharmaceutical company, and they don't want you to know that if you clean out your gut and detoxify your lymphatic system and get fresh air and sunlight, which this is a miracle. I mean, I literally swear to God, it was 100% cloudy. There wasn't a stitch of sun anywhere on this trail. In fact, it was so foggy this morning I could barely even see as I was driving. I woke up at 4 to make some time. You know, I have an itinerary, but I'm actually waiting on some emails and stuff like that. So every day is just a brand new navigational platform for infinite possibilities. And some people like this lifestyle. I've probably had, I don't know, 4 or 5 different vans, probably 5 or 6 or 7 vans that I've lived in. And I've lived in all kinds of abandoned buildings and crap like that, tents, all kinds of stuff. And I'm doing fine. I know how to do this, you know, and you just get your OJ and you're golden. Can you dig it? Oh, fresh. How am I going to do this? That's the question. Little scooper. Little plant-based scooper. Yep. Dude, yeah, this is like one of them little cocaine spoons. Oh, sorry, kids. Not me. I never did it. I don't even know how I knew that. I saw it in a movie once. Yeah, right. Life Rejuvenator. This is going to take about a minute. It's blasting me in the face too because the wind is blowing right at me. Oh, look at that. You could see all the dust blasting me in the face. I wonder what the cleanse powder does inside the lungs. We're going to find out today. Every time I pick one up, you can see it blast me with a powder puff. Anyway, I just had an epic walk, a little 2.5 mile. I pulled over because I really believe in the middle. What I do every day, this is the coolest thing about the Dan McDonald dude. Every day that I'm out on the road, I pick out some place on the Google map and I drive there. Some river, some park. That way I get to see America. Oh, that's the title of the video. Oh, I broke my little cocaine spoon. What's up? Try some big ass leaf. This little thing was working good. I'm almost there. I'm up about 1 tablespoon. I wanted to do like a double or triple dose today. I'll probably just do a double because otherwise the video will be like 14 hours long. I pick out somewhere to go and I just go there. So that's the title of the video. America is awesome, dude. I love America. It's like, that's the thing. Facebook, they hate America. They hate white people. They hate men. They hate everything, man. It's just a hate fest. And I have none of that, dude. I got nothing but love for all y'all. This is a hard place to be. And I was like, always, oh, ascension. And then one day it just dawned on me. I was like, bro, you have eternity to ascend. Why don't you be a human being? And I was like, man, I should go get a cheeseburger or something, you know? Not quite ready for that level of faith. That's a lot of faith, you know? What would that be, like 25 years, no cheeseburgers, and then all of a sudden a cheeseburger? It could be. You better be ready for that experiment. Oh, boy. Better get an extra bottle of cleanse powder and have all your colon hydrotherapy friends ready to go. Man, this is a trip, dude, but I'm glad it's working because I didn't want to spill it. I definitely would have spilt it, but the ascension thing is a trip, man. I was like, you know what, bro? Why don't you just be a human while you're here? You got about 2 seconds left. You know what I mean? And then you're going to be gone, bro. And I was like, word. I don't even care about ascending anymore. I'm right where I want to be. And that's what the people keep asking me. How do you stay? You know, I'm living in the back of an old Subaru Outback. You know what I'm saying? I built a bed in the back. I went to the store, cut the plywood, and went to Walmart and got one of those, mattress toppers. And then I got a comforter and a pillow and some sheets. I'm living like a king, man. I got orange juice, and then I can buy some lettuce, some olives, avocados, whatever. I take the lettuce, the sprouts, and then an olives. you know, and then I just make these little burger bundles. They're epic, man. So life is good no matter what. You can have the best day ever no matter what, but that's why I believe in people working on their attitude, you know, the attitude of gratitude no matter what. And it's the stinking thinking. And that's why I call it the gastrointestinal doom loop, because if you keep your colon clean, you know, I mean, I'm probably a little extreme. You know, I don't do the cleanse every day, but I've been a little, you know, off my game a little bit. So I'm just trying to keep it on point, you know. I've been blasting hella enzymes because that's a lot easier. Mixing up the cleanse, obviously you see it was like this whole ordeal with my little cocaine spoon here. But anyways, that'll hit the spot. Best breakfast ever. I love the peppermint in there. And it's the bitter herbs, you know. That's what we miss. The people don't eat the bitter herbs anymore. And we always had that. The cats do. Remember when the cats, so they can keep themselves healthy, then maybe they even puke. And the dogs too. And they do that to keep themselves healthy, those astringent and bitter herbs, but nobody will, you know, utilize them. And then when you put them in a little bit of something sweet, it's no big deal at all. The peppermint really just rounds it all out. This cleanse powder has saved many a brother and sister, because everybody's constipated, but humans only understand it when they become chronically constipated. When they haven't pooped in like 3 or 4 days, you know, then it dawns on them. But everyone's constipated because of the way that the human beings eat. If we were just eating like these wild apples or wild berries off the trees, we wouldn't get constipated. But all the stuff that we eat definitely constipates the GI tract, constipates the lymphatic system, and constipates the blood vessels. And that in turn constipates the energy flow through the organism. You know, and you just want to keep your temple as nice as you possibly can, you know. That's all. I ain't got no hate. Even if people send me all these weird emails and all these comments and stuff, it's like people are just unhappy. It has nothing to do with me. I am happy. You see how happy I am? I don't need to force feed you my happiness. But I mean, I am content, and I believe that peace and happiness is our true nature. So you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to achieve anything. And that's the springboard from all these other things that you may want to do and create with your own life, because you are the creator of the world. You are the creator of the entire universe. How do I know that? Because once your consciousness is gone, the whole universe is going to be gone. So the universe is in you. And that's why I look at all these people and they're complaining about everything. They're on the internet complaining, not really realizing they're creating their own world. And the problem is they like half of the world they're creating, but they don't like the other half. So you have to decide whether you're going to love all of it or none of it. Or you can do like what I do and do both. Okay, what you do is you love none of it by knowing that you're just this infinite awareness that's inhabiting this meat sack called Dan McDonald. But yet you appear to really love it and embrace it and enjoy the orange juice and enjoy the walking and enjoy the sunlight. So you love all of it because you realize that you can't fight duality forever without becoming exhausted. So the more you find that center, the more the energy will flow through you, the more peace and joy and love you'll have. Even when the whole world hates you because you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm out here, I'm homeless. They're like, how dare you be homeless and sell stuff? It's like, well, I'm going to keep my head above water, you know, because I'm a grown man and nobody's going to take care of me ever. So I don't really care what any of these fools have to say. I'm doing what I need to do. You need to do what you need to do, and you have my support. Because I don't know your life circumstances, you know? And you don't know mine, and nobody knows mine. You know what I'm saying? The Elite Video Club, I talk to them because there's a paywall there, and I've had in 5 years, I've had a couple of weird things. Social media, every day, weirdos, psychopaths, junkies, people off their meds, people angry, feminists, racists. Although I hate that word because now it's so overused, but I mean people that hate white people, and try to make me feel bad. I'm like, that's never gonna happen. I am what I am, and it is dope. You should find your own dopeness. That's the greatest thing that can happen from the dark night of the soul. Once you get destroyed, you have to pick yourself back up you got to get out of bed. I laid there for a few months, and I was like, okay, bro, got to get out of bed. And then I used food as like this thing, okay, maybe there's some good food to eat. And the food got me out of bed, and then I overate too much. And felt like crap. And then I was like, okay, you can't use food anymore. And then I just had to find the true happiness from within, And then you can, no matter what is happening, and that's the thing. I call it God, but you can call it whatever you want. That's the source energy. Go back to the center and find the peace and joy that never left, that always was and always will be. That is your true and divine nature, my young Padawan. You're going to do what I say. I like to joke around like that because it's like, who the hell are you telling me what to do? I'm not telling anybody anything what to do. You all made me make these videos. I'll be around for a little while longer, but it's going to get to the point where the social media with the AI, everyone wants everything in 30 seconds. They want a dopamine hit, or they are pissed at you. If you're like, hey, let me give you an education. You don't have to die from cancer. You don't have to be obese. You don't have to have diabetes. You don't have to be miserable. You don't have to be lacking in energy. You can have energy if you want, but you have to do exactly what I say, punk. No, but I mean, it's just, it has to be, the world is off, and they're not going to teach you about, living foods, like energizing liquids. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to teach you on how to keep your colon clean. Your doctor has no clue that your colon is the hub of all your problems, because the colon, the brain, the heart, all the unresolved issues, and you got to clean all that out with some kind of purification process, Then you find a balance, and then you just roll. Then you're like halfway there, halfway on, halfway off. Then you find a balance with all of it. You don't want to be too healthy because you won't be able to function. But if you get too unhealthy either, you know what I'm saying? So you got to find the middle ground where you can just keep rocking. You know what I mean? Usually I just mix it and chug it, but for whatever reason today, I'm finding this extremely pleasant, and probably because normally it's this super concentrated like sludge. And now I'm like, I just mixed the whole thing so it's more dilute with the cleanse powder, and it's just actually very enjoyable. It's like, oh, this guy, is he the #1 salesman because he loves Pyridime, or does he love Pyridime because he's the #1 salesman? How about both? But the thing is somebody was like, you wouldn't even use that stuff if you didn't get it for free. I've never gotten one single enzyme from Pyridime for free. Not once. I have paid full price, just like everyone else, since the very beginning. And I've been using enzymes for 27 years. And that's why I got up at 4 in the morning and started driving. Then I can pull over, rip around this thing 2.5 miles, jogging half the way. And now I'm going to get back in the car and finish my drive. I got a long way to go, baby. And I'm going to have to go all the way where I'm going. Then I'm going to go all the way back. Because I just keep going and going and going. Because I'm all about it, baby. Places to go, people to see, things to do. Loaf of bread, container of milk, stick of butter. Yeah, Life Rejuvenator, you're going nuts. Going? Baby, I've been crazy for a long time. Yeah, he's so jacked up. Nah. What are you going to do with those? Oh, it's a little tiny cutie. I'm going to pinch your cheek, you little cutie. I want some chicken drummies. You know who I'm talking about. The little precious. Hey, y'all. Thank you very much. Have an epic, epic day. It's time for me to go. Peace.